T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
day.
Thank you. I've always been very lucky in having wonderful guests on my shows. Tonight is no exception. My next guests are two of the funniest men in the business. I know because they told me so. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Lenny Bennett and Jerry Stevens.
Well, tell me, Lenny, how do you follow the great, the superb Shirley Bassey?
Stop flanneling. I mean, I'm not all that impressed. I mean, I have done shows with Ruby Murray.
You should show more respect. Don't you realize that Shirley Bassey is the world's most impersonated singer? Even you copy her.
I don't sing like Shirley Bassey.
No, but you walk like her. Now, I don't want you being disrespectful to Miss Bassey, because these are all her most devoted fans in here tonight. In fact, there's one party who've come all the way from South Wales.
South Wales? This will all be new to them, electric lights and carpets and things like that.
Now, some of them have even taken the trouble to dress up in the national costume. There's two women down there in miner's lamps and wearing pit boots.
Do you remember when we worked in Wales?
Mm-hmm.
At the Eisteddfod? We were the first performers ever to be booed by druids.
Mind you, we do have admirers all over the world. Do you know that we actually got a fan letter this morning from South Africa?
Never.
Mm.
What did he say?
I can remember it, word perfect. It said, "Dear Lenny and Jerry, I am writing to you from Cape Town. Last night, we saw your show on television here in South Africa for the very first time. Here is the good news. We think you are absolutely first class and your show is just great. Signed, Harry Dukaipa."
Fabulous.
P.S. Here is the bad news. I lied about the good news.
Do you realise that when roses are blooming in Piccadilly, the people in Rotherham couldn't care less?
Oh, that's funny. That's very funny. In fact, that almost made my knees shake with amusement, that. Here, tell me something. Why is it that in their homes, people say nice things to their plants to encourage them, then go out in the garden and put manure on the rhubarb?
Wouldn't it be funny if the Queen was watching us on television now, and she turned to Prince Philip and she said, "One is not amused. I think I'll go and do the ironing."
Listen, Ballad.
Yes?
I had a funny thought. Do nervous butterflies ever get people in their stomachs?
You see,
Very funny.
this woman could become a threat.
Yes.
Good night, Shirley.
That was very funny,
Butterflies
that.
in the stomach and all that.
That you get to see some very exciting places around the world. And recently, I found myself in the most exciting place I've ever been to in my life, Cape Kennedy, where I saw rockets and the control rooms and the astronauts. I mean, you name it. And when they asked me if there was anything else I'd like to see, I said, how about the moon's surface? They said, well, the impossible takes a little longer, but we'll do our best. And they did.
Funny, you're a stranger who's come here, come from another town. Funny, I I'm a stranger myself here, small world, isn't it funny? You're a man who goes traveling rather than settling down. Funny, 'cause I love to go traveling, small world, isn't it? We have so much in common, it's a phenomenon. We could pool our resources by joining forces from now on. Lucky, you're a man who likes children, that's an important sign. Lucky, I'm a woman with children, small world, isn't it funny? Isn't it small and funny and fine? Small and funny and fine. Who are you?
Pete Conrad, what are you doing in my suit?
This is your suit?
That's my suit.
Listen, Pete, did you have trouble with that ladder when you arrived on the moon?
I sure did. You know, I'm the shortest guy in the office, and Neil said his line, a small step for him, but it was a big step for a little fellow like me.
It was much more than that, wasn't it, really? The first imprint that he made on the moon.
Small step for man, but a big step for mankind.
And you said?
I kind of spoofed it. I figured nobody would remember who was on the moon second. Who flew the Atlantic second? Nobody remembers. So I figured I was safe and having a little fun.
And you had fun.
Our flight wasn't that historical in nature, and to tell you the truth, I really had a ball on the moon.
Yes?
It's a great place.
How many times have you been into outer space?
Surely there's 4 of us that have flown 4 times, and I've flown 4 times. I flew 2 Gemini flights, one in 65 and one in 66, then Apollo 12 to the moon, and then I commanded the first Skylab in 1973, which was 28 days. Sure wish you were along on that trip.
Do you have any plans to go up again?
What are you doing tonight?
Oh, nothing.
Yeah, very seriously, if I had the opportunity to go back to the moon again, which we're not going to do, I would dearly love to go back to the moon. I really enjoyed that flight. Again, I think if they were going to have the large space station operation like I was involved in Skylab, I'd enjoy doing that. But really, the reason that I'll probably never go back, I mean, I've obviously retired, is that when I stopped flying in 1973, the United States was not going to have a program that would fly again until 1980.
I'd like to go to the moon. Is there any chance that, for me, I mean, to become an astronautess?
Well, as you know, they've taken women in the program now, and of course, I'd already left when that happened. If I'd have known that was going to happen, I might have stayed. Would you do me a favor? Mm-hmm. How about singing me a song now?
Oh, that I can do. But
You
before
can?
I do that, would you please tell me, how did you go to the bathroom?
Well, only with a great deal of difficulty.
That's right.
Stargazer, you with your head in the heavens, you'll never get by walking that high off the ground.
ignition.
It seems forever.
Right away, Houston.
And if you're clever, you may be in for a while, then you're out of style. Hey, stargazer, probably think I'm crazy, and you haven't heard one single word I've said. Now I don't want to burst your bubble, but you've got trouble. Don't you know the higher the top, the longer the drop? Hey, stargazer. The longer the drop, hey, stargazer, probably think I'm crazy, and you haven't heard one single word. No, you haven't heard one single word I sing a song, our sad young men. Glasses full of wine. All the news is bad. Kiss your dreams goodbye. All the sad young men sitting in the bar, knowing neon nights and missing all the stars. All the sad young men drifting through the town, drinking up the night, trying not to drown. All the sad young men singing in the cold, trying to forget that they're growing old. All the sad young men choking on their youth, trying to be brave, running from the truth. autumn turns the leaves to gold. Slowly dies the heart. Sad young men are growing old. That's the cruelest part of the sad young men. Seek a certain smile, someone they can hold for just a little while. Tired little girl does the best she can. Trying to be gay, for a sad young man, while a grimy moon watches from above. Oh, the sad young man who play at making love, misbegotten moon, shine for sad young men. Oh,
One thing about being a solo singer is that you can practice almost anywhere. Driving in the car, under the hairdryer, even in the bar. But if you're in a group, you could have a problem. I don't know where my next guests practice, but they must do a lot of it, judging by their wonderful, wonderful sound. Ladies and gentlemen, the Swingles singers.
Iceberg. He's only the tip of the iceberg, I've heard. And it's cool. I got class, I got style. But once in a while, out of the town, I must go. You better watch out your stone, bone-headed woman. Watch out, you bone-headed man. Iceberg. You're sailing over 2nd Avenue. It's not a thing that you can. Iceberg. It's freezing over 2nd Avenue. You better believe there's nothing you can do about it. I was an orphan and I couldn't help it. I've been ever since they left me in a basket on the freeway.
You better not annoy me, or I'll do something that I might regret. You better not annoy me, or I'll do something that you won't forget in a hurry, and I might be back for some sloppy seconds. You've heard me heavy breathing on the telephone. My word, they say that I'm belonging in a home. Crazy people, but you know I don't belong there.
I was an orphan and I couldn't help it.
I've been in and out of trouble ever since I left the in the basket on the freeway. Forget it. It's just a silly phase I'm going through. Just because I call you up. Don't get me wrong, don't think you got it made. I'm not in love, no, no. It's because, ooh, you wait a long time for me. Ooh, you wait a long time. So listen, so if I call you, don't make a fuss. I'll tell about the two of us. I'm not in love. I'm not in love.
Thank you. Not far outside the town of Ocherius in Jamaica, there's a famous and beautiful church at St. Anne's Bay. While I was there, I met the children from the schools of St. Richard and St. Columbus, and they invited me to sing with them. But first, listen to the beautiful voices of these children singing as they make their way to church.
Gratia plena
On behalf of Columbus Prep School and St. Richard's Primary, I present to you this bouquet of flowers.
Thank you very much, darling. Thank you. They're beautiful. Thank you, children. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm afraid that's all we have time for. I'd like to thank my guests, Lenny Bennett and Jerry Stevens, the Swingles singers, Pete Conrad, and a special thank you to my school children friends in Jamaica. Weren't they lovely? Yeah. Good night.
People who need people are the luckiest people in the world, where children needing other children and yet letting a grown-up cry, hide all the need inside, acting more like children than children. Lovers are very special people. They're the luckiest people in the world. With one person, one very special person, a feeling deep in your soul says you are half, now you're whole. No more hunger and thirst, but first be a person who needs people. People who need people. Are the luckiest people in the
Providing the music next Wednesday at 7:30 are the Thompson Twins in concert. And there's more music next tonight on Super Channel, this time from Mike Oldfield.